I have found that social media is a better advertising medium than anything because it reaches more people quickly. Well, one of the things Toastmaster Clubs has trouble with is getting people to find out that they even exist. So how do we do that? How do we reach a mass audience? Well, one way we can do that is with social media. But there are some things you want to watch for. My name is Circe Denyer. My email is there. You can also reach me at pro@district52.org. I am the Public Relations Officer for District 52, and I've been using social media to get District 52 on the map so that other people find out that we even exist and what we've got going on. And one of my favorite vehicles for doing that is Facebook. So one of the things I want to spend most of the time today is not in your handout, but it will be posted on the District 52 website, and that is how to create a club Facebook page. You have two handouts. One is called Marketing Your Club on the Web, and the other is a step-by-step guide to get free Toast Toast up for your club. Now, Free Toast Toast is the website hosting for Toastmasters clubs. It's an excellent tool. It has tools that every VP of education can use to keep track of their educational advancements. Who did what speech? Who did what functionary role? It's kept inside of this. I would be lost without it. So I suggest that every club vice president of education, if they don't have a Free Toast Toast website, that you get one. And I will be glad to help you through that. But that's not what this class is about. I'm going to cover a broad spectrum of social media for you. This is just one of them. And I wanted to put this in your hands so that you could create your own website for your club by using this piece of paper. The things you want to look at when you're marketing yourself on the web is you want to know what's available. You also want to know what's acceptable. You want to know what's not acceptable. You want to know who should do it, and you want to link those things together. Now, what's available? Twitter's available. Twitter's an instantaneous spot of data out there, and it's gone in an instant. Is it great for clubs? Sure. If you're going to have somebody who's going to broadcast something over and over, a contest or something. But is it really good to market a club and get a lot of people there? Probably not. It's not lengthy enough. Facebook is available. Like I said, I'm going to go into creating a Facebook page and spend a bit of time on that. You also have blog sites, websites, Free Toast Toast, other websites. There are free blogging places. You can blog about your club. There's Meetup. Now, District 52 has a Meetup account we're using right now. We're testing the water, trying to see if it's making any difference. I haven't gotten any feedback from any club that's been posted on Meetup, so I don't really know if you're actually getting members. We have to get that feedback before we decide if we're going to go ahead and do that some more. But I know that Elite Business Systems is on it, Sales Mastery is on it, several of the clubs are on it. So if your club's not on it, you want your club on Meetup because you think you can send people to that to find you, see me, email me, and I'll put it up right away. I do about 4 or 5 clubs a day. So what's not acceptable? It's not acceptable to post anything that is not clean, honorable, respectful. Don't post anything that you wouldn't want your grandmother to see. Now that's true about any social media posting. It doesn't matter if you have a personal account or a club account. You shouldn't do that. You don't want other people to read things that are in that family of things. You just don't. So keep it clean, keep it respectable, but do broadcast things like contests you're having, and then the winners, pictures, video, all of those kinds of things. If somebody has gotten their CC, somebody's gotten their CL, you want to post that. You want to broadcast all of that great stuff that's happening in your club. If your club has a guest speaker coming that everybody seems to know about, you want to get it up on Facebook. District 52 has a Facebook page. Speakers Bureau has a website. I'm trying to think. Toastmasters for Leaders has a Facebook page. There are a lot of Facebook pages out there. So There's a lot of places you can find out what's going on in the district. Because District 52 has a Facebook page doesn't mean that you can't post to it. You should go find it, and you should post what your club is doing in District 52. It's your district. It's your club. Tell everybody else what's going on. Links and sites. You should always, 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 when you post, put a link in there that sends people to where they can find your information. The information about your club or the information about the event that you're putting on. The free web Toast is available, Facebook, Twitter, Meetup, and LinkedIn. Now LinkedIn has groups. I have a group up there for some of my technical stuff. You can create a LinkedIn group for your club or for your specialty club. Make sure that when you have anything up on the web that has to do with Toastmasters, that you are using the Toastmaster brand. If you are not sure what that is, type the word brand into Toastmasters International's website. There's a branding book. You'll find out every rule that's acceptable and every one that's not. Toastmasters does not want you taking their gorgeous logo and turning it pink. They don't. They also don't want you turning it into a twirling icon. Believe it or not, they really want you just to put it up. You can put it up in a single color. Burgundy, blue, black. You don't have to leave it full color. But they don't want you making it oblong, square, or anything else. They don't want you turning it into a rainbow. They do not want you getting more creative with their brand than they already did. So leave the brand alone, but use it, because everybody recognizes what Toastmasters is about. What's going to happen over the next several years is we are not going to be allowed to use that brand. Not on your websites, not on your Facebook page, nowhere. So don't start it now, okay? You don't want to build a website, even a free Toast site, that has a banner on it that is not Toastmasters. You don't want a picture of sailboats with your club name on it. You want Toastmasters brand with your club name on it. It doesn't matter that your club is in Dana Point or at the beach. You want Toastmasters brand. Let the title of the club show, and don't draw attention to it with something else. Okay? Okay? If you use a free Toast site, you probably will not be able to use your company brand. You could put a picture in the body of it with your company brand, but the top of it will have Toastmasters in it. Okay. You do not want to use anything having to do with your personal business. A lot of us are entrepreneurs. You don't want to post on Facebook, on any Toastmaster Facebook page, what you do for a living. That's not what Toastmasters is about. Toastmasters is about promoting each other, the members, boosting them, getting them to their award levels. It's not about promoting ourselves. There's other places for that, so don't use that. You can broadcast somebody's specialty. For example, if you have a member who's really good at teaching roasts or public speaking, you can broadcast that that person's going to come and give a speech at your Toastmasters Club. But what you don't want to do in that same broadcast is mention their company. That comes later after their speech is done. You do not want to run a Twitter account or a Facebook account or a LinkedIn account under your personal name. Now this is a bit tricky on Facebook. It's a bit tricky on Twitter, but it can be done. You want to make sure that the person who's controlling the account is not a person. Like, I wouldn't have a Toastmasters for Leaders Facebook page that is under my personal account. And that's what I'm going to go over. I'm going to show you how to build one for a company, okay? And you don't want anything that's ethically unacceptable. That's really big. Toastmasters is probably one of the most ethical organizations I've ever belonged to. And you want to keep it that way. You want to make sure everything is very clean, very Girl Scout, Boy Scout, very clean, okay? So, at the bottom of the Marketing Your Club on the web, there's a bunch of links. That's for you for research and reference. Address for creating a Facebook page. Believe it or not, it's not obvious. Facebook.com/bookmarks/pages. Facebook.com /bookmarks/pages. That's where this button that says create a page exists. The first thing you encounter when you go to create a page is this one. It's the About page. They want to know who you are and why you're creating this page. And no, this may not be the first one, this may be the second one, but it is number one, so we'll start there. I put the Toastmaster mission statement in my About. Why did I do that? Because if I want to be found on the web, I want to use something that's already out on the web. And believe it or not, Toastmasters International comes up as the first 5 searches on the web in Google, and that mission statement came from them, so I'm going to use it. I'm going to take advantage of that. Okay?
Can that be changed?
Yeah, you can't change the mission statement, but you can change your description. It can
That's
be
what
about
I mean.
anything.
That's what I mean.
Absolutely. You have to choose whether you're a company, an organization, or an institution, or a local business or place, and then there's a whole lot of other things. But this is what you want. You're going to choose company, organization, or institution because Toastmasters is an organization. So that's your next choice. And like I said, this will be up on District 52. I just, like Linnea, I did my final at the end. We are a nonprofit organization. That's a drop-down as to what kind of organization you are. We're nonprofit. Your club is nonprofit, so you choose nonprofit. And then I gave it a name. This was my Toastmasters for Leaders page when I created it. It was very recently. I checked the box that says I agree to Facebook pages and terms, and I clicked Get Started. This goes really fast. I did this in about 15 minutes. It doesn't take much time. Skip this. This is about advertising. None of us need to advertise unless you've got a lot of money in your budget and you really want to throw it away. And if you really want to do that, I'll take it right off your hands.
They charge for that?
Advertising, yes. And it does, the reason I say that, it's supposed to be really good, but the problem is it doesn't bring you anything. Supposedly that Facebook advertising gives very little return, so skip that. You have to choose your page name. Now this is tricky. You can make it short and easy to remember, or you can make it long and easily readable. That's up to you. I made mine short and easy to remember. So I did TM number 4 leaders. And then you press the set address button. Now what this is if I were going to say to you, I want you to go to the Toastmasters for Leaders page. You go to facebook.com/TM number 4 leaders. You don't have to think. That's why I made it simple and put it in there. Okay? And besides, if I'm going to say it in an elevator to somebody, the doors will open and it'll be gone before I get Toastmasters for Leaders out of my mouth. Now you're done. That's it. That's all you have to choose. Now there's a lot in the back end. And this I spent time on after the fact. I spent time on the description, and I will put this up on the district site as well. There's a place for your description, there's a place for your mission statement, there's a place for who's in charge, there's a place for a contact phone number, and an email address. There's a lot of place for this stuff. All of that is searchable by Google. So the more time you spend in there putting that data in, the more information will be out there. If I were to write a description about an open club in District 52, I would talk about Toastmasters overcoming the fear of public speaking, teaching leaders to lead, learn how to speak in public, all kinds of things that we know they do, that Toastmasters clubs do. And for you to do that because your club gets a place on the internet where you can send everybody. You can put it at the bottom of your invitations. You can broadcast contests or events or installations or chartering a new club. Start a Facebook page before you even get that club off the ground. Get it out there because lots and lots of people can find it. One of the great things about Facebook and Free Toast Host is that Google loves them. You want to be out there? Start a Facebook page. Put all kinds of data in it. Google will love you. And you'll be found on the web when people are looking for that kind of club and organization. They will come up because Google indexes every single page on the web. every day. They have a great piece of equipment. A huge computer goes out and it indexes every website out there, every page and every website. And what I mean by indexing is it literally reads that page top to bottom. And it goes, okay, I've seen this page before. Oh, this is a new one. Indexed. Puts it in its file. Now that page is on its list. And when you change it, when you add to it, it goes to that page again and index. It goes, this is not information I've had before. I'm going to re-index it. So the more you put in, daily, weekly, the more often that changes, Google starts to like that you've changed it, and you start to rise in Google search. I don't know how many people actually search on Toastmasters when they're looking for some place to learn how to do public speaking, but they are searching by their millions to get over the fear of public speaking. You want that on your website. You want that on your Facebook page. You want people to know that you will help them to overcome. What Google's done with their SEO, and this is very important no matter whether you're doing social media to market your club or you're doing a blog for your personal use, the more times you put new information in, the more times Google's going to find you to be a friendly page to be on. And you will rise in your ranking with Google. Yes. Oh, yeah. SEO, thank you. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. There are a lot of search engines out there, Google being one of the primary ones. That means I'm sitting at my computer and I want to buy a red purse. I type into Google red purses, low price, or best price Gucci red purses. And I click enter. And Google returns a list of websites that sell them, that make them, that show them off. There are Pinterest sites. It shows everything that I could possibly get, and there are usually millions of them in my results. That's search engine optimization. The pages that come up at the top are the ones Google really liked and really matched what I typed in. And here's another thing. Think like you search. When you're writing that stuff for your website, for your Facebook page, think like you would search. If you were looking for your club on the web, what would you be typing in to find a club like that? Forget that you know what the club name is. How would you find it if you didn't know it exists? How would you find it if you didn't know that anything like that exists? Think that way. I often tell my mother, who's got an Etsy page up on the web where she sells jewelry, she wants to describe it like somebody who already knows it. I said, forget that. How's somebody going to find it if they don't know it exists? She says, what do you mean? I said, okay, you have a blue necklace, but it's not just a blue necklace, it's a crystal clear blue necklace. It's got silver beads on it. Well, if I have a dress and I've got to match that dress with jewelry and I'm going to make that dress really stand out and I've got something in mind. And I'm going to sit at my computer and I'm going to search for that accessory. Now, what am I going to type into that? She goes, okay, well, you might type in light blue necklace because the dress is dark blue and you want contrast. Or you might say, I want rhinestones and blue. And I said, that's what you need to put in your description of your necklace. Because the more you put in there that matches what you're selling, that people will search on, the more quickly they will find you, and you'll rise to the top in that search. Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, they all work the same. There's a place somewhere in there for you to put in that kind of information for you to let those people find you. Make sure it matches what your club is doing. Yes?
Does Meetup do the same thing?
No, Meetup does not do the same thing. Meetup is a completely different thing. All they have is like calendar entries. This is what's happening in Sherman Oaks. This is what's happening in Van Nuys. This is what's happening. And they do come up, but people have to almost put in Meetup Sherman Oaks to find what's going on. It's not exactly the same. Things to do in Van Nuys, they'll come up then. It's not exactly the same. I am not as impressed with Meetup as I am with Facebook. I find that people find things on Facebook or they join groups on Facebook a lot faster. That's the other thing. You can start, instead of a page on Facebook, you can start a group on Facebook. For example, if you've got a specialty club, Alethea, you have a storytelling club you belong to.
Yes.
If you have a storytelling group on Facebook and you start broadcasting that your storytelling Toastmasters Club meets on, at the Holiday Inn in Burbank, you'll start to get people who are looking for storytelling. Okay? Toastmasters for Leaders is a leadership club. We teach Toastmasters to be great leaders. If we have a leaders group on Facebook that attracts leaders from all crosses of society, we might attract somebody that's never been a Toastmaster before. No, they can't join Toastmasters for Leaders, but they can join Toastmasters in District 52. Always put your city in. Always put in your location, the place that you need. Always. People need that information. Think about it in terms of, I've never done this before. Or think about it in the same terms that you would send out an invitation to your kid's birthday party. Who, what, when, where, and why. You answer those questions and people will be very excited about staying where they found you. Once you've created the page, now you want to add two things, because this part's plain. This is a cover picture. That's this big wide banner. It's, I believe, 400 and something wide or 500 and something wide, but it's not very tall. It's like 200 tall. And then there's this, which is the profile picture. And the profile picture is a square, and I believe it's 180 by 180. It's very small. Now, you don't have to put either one of these in, but if you don't, there's nothing here, and there's a flag there or something. It looks really, really plain.
Well,
Yes.
does the headquarters provide that? Do you think they provide something for the, at least?
They do not yet have a Facebook banner where it's sized. They have artwork that you could resize. But again, we have a little trouble. This piece works good for the color logo, but the color logo is like 360 by 360, so it's too big. It has to be sized down. When you size it down, it sometimes gets squishy. So that's a little tricky. I happened to use that image because it was square and I liked it. And you'll notice I didn't put anybody's picture up here. There are a lot of people in our club. I could have picked anybody or a group of them and put it in there. But believe it or not, I didn't have a suitable picture that size with enough people in the club to fit there. So I decided to make it go generic. Okay? So that's what you want to do. You want to add a cover picture and you want to add a profile picture so that it looks attractive when people get there. But it can be anything. This does not have to be branded per se. But if you do use the branding, don't tweak it, because it's definitely not. Yes?
Couldn't you use like the email banner?
It's long and skinny and it doesn't fit.
Or put like a background on
I know, you'd have to tweak it. You'd
Oh.
have to fill it in, make it bigger, because it's really low,
Oh.
really long. You go this way, it's the logo gets tweaked.
it? Oh.
They get mad. It's not nice. Okay. Now, I believe Toastmasters International has a Facebook page, so you could probably right-click on their cover picture, download it, and use it for yours. But I'm not sure if theirs is people or if it's the banner. I can't remember. I did go there. I did like their page. Any picture taken of anyone in public does not require permission. My rule is, any picture I put up that somebody then asks me to take down, I do it immediately. And I've done that. If I post a picture on Facebook and I get an email or I get a text, please take that picture down, it's gone instantly. I just take it down. I do not feel like offending people, but I don't know what offends people. So if it's taken in public, you do not need permission. So please listen to the people and do what they ask. Now, anybody can request the free Toast site, but the person whose email is registered is the only person who can approve it, because that's who they send the email to, and once it's approved, then it can be built. When you use free Toast and it says president at, in that club name, it changes with whoever the president is in that club. So there is no management. It does it for you.
It's automatic.
It's really handy. And those email addresses, I recommend every club use that, because then your personal account is not being used. We have district officer email addresses that route to their personal accounts. So I don't have to know what Janet's email is. I can say lgm@district52.org. That's what her email is. And it goes right to her inbox because I've rerouted it through the hosting company. I believe in doing it where management is less trouble, less likely to be forgotten about. Because what happens if an officer moves away, can't be an officer of the club anymore, but all the email goes to their inbox? And suddenly, your club's not getting notification from people who are interested. Suddenly you start to, make people angry because you're not getting back to them. It's very important that we know what we're doing to our internet community when we have email addresses out there. We need to be responsible for them, and this is the easiest way to do it.